Today we're going to show you how we render lard at Louderbranch Farms. Stay tuned.
Flavor you can't forget.
Today we're rendering leaf lard. That's the lard that comes out from around the kidneys on a hog. It's your finer lard used in pastries. We use it in cornbread, biscuits, pie crust, that sort of thing. If you have bad luck with it, you can always use it as bearing grease. A few things you'll need for rendering lard. We're going to be using a propane tank today, little fish cooker stand. You can also do it on your stove. Last night we went ahead and prepared the lard, cut it up into about 1-2 inch chunks. There's about 8 pounds here in this pan. We'll need, of course, our lard. Then we want to cut our burner on. Good, clean burning propane. We're going to light it with some propane accessories. Don't want to light. Lit then. You want to use a low heat. You want it to go slow to keep from burning it. It takes a while to do this. About a cup of water. Just kind of helps keep it from burning until it gets started. We've got about 8 pounds in here. Get a wooden spoon. I'm using a paint paddle. You need to keep a check on it, stir it to keep it from burning on the bottom, but just let it cook down slow. And you can start to see where it's starting to render down a little bit into liquid form. And again, the paint paddle is clean. I just forgot to bring a wooden spoon with me. But I guess you could use a stick, old mop handle, something like that. You just want to keep it from burning to the bottom of the pan. It takes a while, so you can leave for a minute or two and come back, but don't leave it for long. We're going to let this cook down a little bit. We're going to get a few other things ready that we've got to have to when it's done cooking, and we will be back in a little bit. It's been cooking for about 10 minutes, and you can see it's starting to boil down pretty good. Render it down. Render, boil, cook. It's all the same thing, I guess. You want to stir it occasionally. to keep it from burning to the bottom of the pan. And we'll let that cook some more. Oakley dokley, we've been cooking for about 20 minutes. Well, maybe 30. And it's starting to really cook down. It's been cooking about an hour. It's starting to really render down. So we're going to let it keep cooking and take it on down some more. Okay, it's been cooking for about an hour and 45 minutes or so. We're getting closer. Hopefully it won't be much longer. We still got some chunks to render down. Alright, we've pretty much cooked down all it's going to cook down. These are starting to get a little bit crunchy. So we're going to call it quits here. So we've rendered it out. It's been about 3 hours to get to this point. And some people save these cracklings, and they need to be just a little bit cooked a little bit longer. But we're going to take them out and start jarring up our lard. Alright, we've got everything, our jars together. We've got cheesecloth in our funnel. We're going to run it through cheesecloth, and let's put it in some jars. I usually come up to about the first ring right there. And then when it turns back to a solid, it'll be a little bit lower than that, but it'll be pretty close. Alright, we're going to jar the rest of it up and we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, we've got it all jarred up now. It turned out real pretty. It's a pretty color. Now this will cool down and it'll solidify and it'll be ready to use. It took roughly 8 pounds of lard, 3 hours of cooking, and we've ended up with right at 6 pints of usable rendered lard. We will let this set, cool off, and then we'll come back and show you what it looks like when it cools off. It's been been about 24 hours since we jarred this up. It's turned out great. Has a good smell to it. You can see it cooled down and it's right to where we filled it at in the jars. When you use it, especially if you're using it to grease a pan with, it's going to kind of smell like bacon cooking, or it usually does to us. But we got it, ended up with 6 pints out of roughly 8 pounds of leaf lard after it was rendered. And it's ready to use. Let's go make a cake of cornbread. Hi, I'm Mike with Louderbranch Farms. Today we're going to render some lard and get ready to where was I at? Today we're going to render leaf lard. That's the lard that comes out from around the kidneys on a hog. It's the finer logs. Today we're going to render leaf lard, which is used in bacon. We will use it in biscuits, cornbread, pie fillings, that sort of thing. You can also use it in other things.